Hello, trumpet players. This is the third video in our lip buzz controversy series. And I already made this video last week, and I got home. I'm here before a gig, right? I got home after the gig, and I realized I never got to the point. I never said the most important thing. So here we go again. This video in the series, it's the last video. This video in the series is about who should and who shouldn't. I know we kind of covered that before, but we're going to go into deeper detail this time. I had a student that after he watched one of the videos, he says, how do I know if I am benefiting from doing the lip buzz? Because remember what I said in that other video. If you do the lip buzz and you benefit from it, then keep doing the lip buzz. If you don't get benefit from it, don't do the lip buzz. And this is in reaction to the people who say, thou shalt never do lip buzz, because of this pseudoscience stuff that they invented to scare people from doing lip buzz, right? So yeah, how do you know? So that's basically what we're going to talk about. You know, the original title I was going to give it is just how different we are. But you guys already know that from watching my videos. You know that I recognize everybody's from a different background. Everybody is in a different place now in their lives. Everybody is going in a different direction. When you combine all of those differences together, we have something that is more specific to each person than a fingerprint. Does that make sense? More unique, more specific than a fingerprint. Because we have more data points. Okay, there's more data points that make us different as trumpet players than there are data points that make us the same. And the logical error of the people who tell you thou shalt not do lip buzz, that nobody should ever do lip buzz, the logical error they are making is that everybody is the same, which is not true. But we're not going to beat that as a dead horse. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is help you figure out. I'm going to answer that student's question. And to tell you the truth, when I was trying to answer it in one of the Q&As, I didn't have an answer. Hopefully, I can rectify that mistake now. But let me tell you first why I didn't have an answer. Because when he asked me, I still might have my head in this series. I was still thinking about lip buzz as an independent exercise. And that's not how it is for me in my teaching. Lip buzz is not an independent exercise. Lip buzz is the second exercise in my physical trumpet pyramid. And there's a reason why we do the exercises in that order. So, when I was trying to answer the question from my student, how do I know if I'm benefiting? I was only thinking about the lip buzz, and I could not come up with a decent answer. Because it's not independent. Okay? So the first thing you have to ask is, do you get benefit from the entire We're going to go from general to specific, right? Do you get benefit from the... I'm sitting here in Galveston, and this dude is riding his bike down the street, and he's got deer antlers on the front of his bicycle. And they look like they've been there for a long, long time. All right. Sorry for the interruption. So, and what makes that weird is there's no deer in Galveston, not to my knowledge. We have deer up on the other side of the causeway. I know we have deer. I've seen deer myself in the NASA area. Lots of deer, by the way, flocks and flocks of them. But I don't think we have deer here on Galveston. I would be very surprised to find out that there's deer here. So that's kind of like odd to see. Anyway, let's get back to the point. If you benefit from the physical trumpet pyramid, and what do I mean by that? If you benefit by doing certain exercises in a certain order, then in a sense you could say, yes, you are benefiting from the lip buzz. If doing the physical trumpet pyramid makes you a better player, then you are benefiting from the lip buzz. Now, I know that's not enough for some of you, because I tell you, you don't have to do the lip buzz part of the physical trumpet pyramid to get the benefit. I do think you need to do it if you want the full benefit. So we're going to dig deeper than just that. But yes, that's the first answer, and that's a good answer. If you get benefit from the physical trumpet pyramid, then you get benefit from the lip buzz. But let's look at the role of the lip buzz in the pyramid. We start with air. Air is the word paramount. Now, I'm recording on my phone, so I can't look up my understanding of the word paramount. That's how I would the word I would use to describe air in the context of trumpet playing. Air is paramount to our trumpet playing. It's the most important thing. It's beyond most important. It is so extremely important that without the air, there is nothing else. Does that make sense? So that's the air. And we do an air exercise. Now, let me be clear. We do not do breathing exercises in my studio. Breathing exercises are not part of the physical trumpet pyramid. I call them air exercises because the air is, to differentiate from breathing, the air is in the exhale. The air, we are creating an airstream away from the horn mechanically. And you guys have heard me talk about the fire hose air, right? That we want that kind of air when we're playing trumpet. There are exceptions to that, but when we're learning, I had Luther Didrikson. I apologize, sometimes I forget his name. But Luther Didrikson told me in the lesson I had with him, Luther Didrikson, my understanding was he was, what's his name? Chickwitz's right-hand man at Northwestern, right? And he taught the same method that Chickwitz taught. And I took a 2-hour lesson with him. I was very sad to see when he died. Anyway, so he told me that we play loud to get the proper mechanics. We play loud to get the proper mechanics, and then months or even years later, we start to back down on the volume because now the mechanics have become more automatic, more second nature, more subconscious, mental, whatever you want to call it. And now you can bring the volume down without affecting the mechanics. This is the same concept. If I hadn't had that listen with Luther Didrikson, I may never have come up with the physical trumpet. Well, I guess that's not true, chronologically speaking. But it wouldn't mean today what it means to me today. Okay? Chronologically speaking, I just said something that was untrue. But let's just say that lesson with Luther Didrikson enhanced what I was thinking about the air. Okay? So we want that kind of air. We want fire hose air. Then we do the lip buzz. And we do the lip buzz over that fire hose air. Now, the reason why we do the lip buzz, I'm not going to talk about what reason other people have and that I don't do that. There's plenty of that. The reason me and my students do lip buzz is to get your most natural embouchure. I was just about to do what I said I wasn't going to do. I have to resist the urge. Let's just keep it there. The reason why we do the lip buzz at this point in the physical trumpet pyramid is as a model for your most natural embouchure. And if you're going through an embouchure change, this lip buzz embouchure that you have is the model for the new embouchure. Now, I'm stressing that this is if you're my student. It's true for everybody, but it's more true for beginners, it's more true for people who need to do an embouchure change, and it's more true for people who have had injuries. The reason why we do the lip buzz is to establish your or mine most natural embouchure. So here we get to the question. The way you ask yourself, is it working? Is you ask yourself, is this my most natural embouchure? Am I, when I play the trumpet, am I playing it the way I play the lip buzz? And you know what? The lip buzz haters, this will put them into a frenzy. Right? Because they believe that you don't buzz. So the idea of playing on your trumpet the way that you buzz is sacrilege to them. But we're not talking about what happens inside the lips. We're talking about the musculature of the embouchure. I'm fighting the urge to talk about how they see this, okay? I'm trying to only stay in the positive. I'm trying to only say what it is that works, okay? Instead of saying what they do that doesn't work, okay? It's just hard. Okay. So, let's say it very clearly. It's not about what happens in here. It's about what happens here. All of these muscles, the complexity of those muscles is extreme. If you look at each muscle as a separate data point, and then how firm each one of these has to be to get your most natural embouchure, it's a mathematical nightmare that is simply solved just by doing a lip buzz. A mathematical nightmare that is simply solved by doing a lip buzz. When you put, and you know what I tell my students that try and nothing comes out? Let's say they go, let's say that's what comes out. What they're doing there just to try is already a better embouchure than most people that play that can't do a lip buzz. Even just trying and not getting a lip buzz gives you most of the benefits of doing the lip buzz. So, the next thing we do after the lip buzz is we put we do what I call the mouthpiece placement exercise. We do a sustained note. That's called the mouthpiece placement exercise. And the point of that exercise is to find if this is your most natural embouchure. The point of the mouthpiece placement exercise is to find the most natural mouthpiece placement on that embouchure. I'm not going to go through the rest of the pyramid. That right there, if you want to ask yourself, does this benefit me? That's what you need to try to do. If you're my student, does it benefit you to do those three things the first thing every day? Does it benefit you to do that? That's how you know. We're all different. You can't know until you try. But that's the answer to my students' question. When you do those three exercises, does it produce the best embouchure that, not best, I don't like the word best in this context, because that makes it sound like you could try some other embouchure and it would be better. We are not doing that. In my studio, the quest is not for the best embouchure. The quest is for your most natural embouchure. We don't shop for embouchures like we're going through a catalog. We don't do that. We don't try the Stevens. We don't try the Farkas. We don't try, I don't remember all the different names. We don't try them. We go through this process of the physical trumpet pyramid to discover and, by the way, on a daily basis, rediscover our most natural embouchures. And if that process is working for you, now how do you know if it is? I know it works for me because I've gone time without doing it. And it always takes me back to normal. And As soon as I figured all this stuff out and got it, people talk about all the time, they say, sometimes I have bad days on the trumpet, sometimes I don't. And that started to confuse me, because as I developed this way of playing, I never really had bad days on the horn. What I had was bad days of being me, right? If you're ill, or if you're having just a bad day in general, yes, that can translate to problems on the horn, but it's also translate to problems. Oh, I forgot my keys, or I had a wreck, or you have bad days. But I don't have bad chop days. I haven't had since I started this physical trumpet pyramid thing. You just don't have bad chop days when you play on your most natural embouchure. That just makes sense, doesn't it? And if you use my method and then you get away from it, everybody gets away from it for a while, right? Everyone says, well, I've done this for a long time, and they get away from it, and then or maybe they have other, just don't have time, whatever the reason. Everybody gets away from it for a while, even me. But I never play as well when I'm doing the physical trumpet pyramid on a regular basis. And I do not believe, and I know how some of you guys think, and because I think that way myself too, I don't believe it's just like mental, like a crutch, right? I don't believe that. And why do I not believe that? Because I see it so often with my students too. And because people from all over the world, one of the things I like about my Q&A session is we get some people who just pop in, and they just wanted to say, Eddie, I use your method, and it works. And we go, woohoo, all right, yeah. We applaud them because that's great news. That's what this is all about. We want it to work. Now let me say, I have on my little post-it at the bottom, the very last thing on this video, buzzing is not for everyone. When we talk about how different we are, our background is different, where we are now is different, where we want to go is different, and we are extremely unique physically, mentally, culturally, musically. We are extremely unique one from the other. That uniqueness dictates that, I better check my time. That uniqueness dictates that lip buzz will not, the physical trumpet pyramid doesn't work for everybody. Lip buzz doesn't work for everybody, because we are all unique individuals. Some people prefer, by the way, the biggest reason why someone wouldn't want to do lip buzz is because they are an inflammation-based player. I don't mean for that to sound like an insult. There's nothing wrong with being an inflammation-based player. I apologize for the sweat. This is the first time I've sweat in one of these videos this time. Yes, if you are an inflammation-based player, then lip buzz is not for you. But considering how different all of us are, it's easy to see that would not be the only reason. There are also mental reasons. I tell people, don't do the lip buzz, because it's not easy. When you first start, my most popular video on my channel is the lip buzz video, and I get questions all the time. I can't do the lip buzz. I can't do the lip buzz. People struggle with it. And if struggling with it creates anxiety, don't do it. It's not worth it. The benefit you get is not worth what it does to you mentally. It's not worth it. So keep that in mind. You need to find for yourself if Lip Buzz works. And if you're not doing Lip Buzz as part of my system, my physical trumpet pyramid system, if you're not doing it as part of that, then you need to do Lip Buzz and figure out why. Don't just do stuff just to do stuff, okay? Always have a reason. You've heard me say this before. All physical work should be done for musical reasons. Don't just try to do lip slurs. Why are you doing lip? I want you to know, why are you doing lip slurs? Why are you doing lip bends? Why are you doing scales? Why are you doing Lip Buzz? There needs to be a musical reason for all of it. There are musical reasons, but if in your mind you're not making that connection, then you're really wasting your time when you do those exercises. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm glad I got the video right this time. I'm gonna go over there. I'm playing the solo part tonight on Feel So Good. I'm looking forward to that. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video. This is the last video in this series, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week, and God bless you.